When it comes to monetization of passive income websites, I always start out with ads and affiliate offers, simply because they're easy to do. Ads you can plaster on in a matter of seconds, and affiliate offers you can find everywhere these days. But as the website grows bigger and it maybe hits that 30 to 50k page views per month, it's time to build info products. Simply because info products are killing it online. It's a 100% digital product that you create yourself, which of course means that you get 100% of the income every time somebody buys it. Some of the top earning websites I have come across over the years always have a super solid info product to sell to the readers. I have made websites myself that make around 5 figures per month without an info product, but it's a lot easier and a lot faster to do if you have a good digital product to sell. The first type of info product we should talk about is video courses. And don't get too scared just yet about the video aspect of things here. I know how scary it can be to turn on the camera, look into the lens and say something that sounds sane. Just look at some of the first videos on this channel if you don't believe me. I've been making passive income websites for around 10 years and I'll share my best tips. People often think you need to be in the financial niche or in health or in fitness in order to create info products on video, but that's not true. You can definitely create products in almost every niche. How about a fly fishing course if you have a fishing site? How about a course about how to complete old classic arcade games if you have a gaming website? As you can see, the possibilities are endless here. You can go anywhere with this, and that's why it's so great. Let's see how we can do some initial market research and how we can figure out which type of products will work well with our audience. There's a ton of resources we can dig into online, and let me show you how I typically do this. Coursera is a great place to start when you want to do some research or if you just want to see what other people are doing and to get some initial ideas on what could work in your industry or in your niche. So you click here on Explore and you'll see that there's a ton of different subjects you can dive into and it will just give you a lot of inspiration right off the bat. So let's say you have a site about animals or pets and something like that. Normally, we wouldn't write a lot of health-related articles simply because it's hard to rank in Google for these terms if you're not a veterinarian yourself. But let's say you have the audience already. You could definitely do a course about animal health. You don't need to be number one in the Google search result page for an animal health course or something like that because you already have the audience on your website. And personal development is huge. If you click here, you will get a set of filters up here that can be really helpful. So just choose some settings here and click apply. And now you can use these settings over here to find the most popular courses in your niche. This is really great because you'll be able to see numbers like how many people reviewed this. Sometimes you can see how many people actually took the course by looking at the numbers here. So see, First Step Korean, 6,000 reviews. 1,300 people took that course at least. Fundamentals of Music Theory, 1,000 people. So you will get an idea here of which are actually selling and which of the courses are not a good idea. You should also take a look at the highest rated courses because that will show you some of the best courses in your industry. So let's say you wanted to do a course about parenting, then you probably would check out some of these guys because they have 800 and 2,000 reviews, and as you can see, they're 4.9 out of 5. So if you decided to do a course around this, you should definitely take these courses first, just to make sure that you are at least covering all the basics and to get some good ideas about what works well with the audience. And if you don't want to spend the time or the money on the course, you can click this button here and see a great outline of what's inside this course. Click the show all button here and they will tell you what's inside it. And as you scroll down here to the bottom, you can actually see part 1, part 2, advanced ABC troubleshooting. You can see pretty much what's inside this course. Super helpful if you are deciding whether or not you should build your own course in this industry. This is one of the biggest sites where you can find online courses, and it's a great source of inspiration when we are considering building a course ourselves. So let's say you had a website about something music related. Maybe you had a website about guitars, playing guitars, guitar instruments, something like that. If you click in here, You should pay close attention to the most popular courses for this segment, and also you should pay a lot of attention to the beginners' favorites. So the reason why I want you to pay attention to what the beginners are looking for is because there's always a ton more people who are starting to do something than there are people who become experts. So if you target your product or your course to the beginners segment, you will just have a much bigger audience, and it's also just a lot easier to teach beginners than people who maybe know more than you do. So the feedback and the review side of things sometimes suffer when we do expert courses, simply because, there's a chance that some of the people attending the course know all the stuff you're going to share with them anyway. And take a look at the prices here. 200 euros or dollars, and now today it's selling at an 80 or 90% discount. So that's a good reason to not offer your course on Udemy or Coursera or some of the other platforms. Simply because the competition is way too high. You will probably sell much better if you launch a course on your own website and have people subscribing through some email pop-ups and stuff like that, where you offer some free stuff, and over a series of 4 or 5 or 6 emails you start selling your course directly. Because by doing so, you won't find your course right next to another course that's selling super cheap. Another category that does well with courses is the whole thing around lifestyle. Let's say you were doing something about beauty and makeup. Let's try and go in here. Again, there's a ton of courses here. You can take a close look at what's popular and what's trending, and also what they call a bestseller here. So now that you maybe have an idea about what this video course could be about, it's time to film the thing. Take out a few weeks and maybe get some training if you haven't been on camera before. Another good thing could be to bring on an expert if you're not an expert yourself. You can find people in most industries who are experts and who you can hire for a day or two for maybe 1 or 2 grand, even if they're top level experts. And believe me, it will quickly become worth it if you make a good product. So how do we figure out what to put in this course? So you can probably just go with the content you've already written and just put it in this nice structured format inside a video course. Don't think you need to offer a ton more information than what you have already on your website or your blog. People will be glad to pay money to have everything structured, because it takes a long time to read the entire website and nobody has probably done that besides you. So this means that many courses can be 90 to 95% stuff that you have already shared on your blog and maybe on your social media platforms and so on. It's not a problem, and if you're afraid that people won't find any value in the course, just offer 100% money back guarantee. If somebody doesn't like the course, you can just give them the money back. And you would be surprised how few people will do that, because they see you as an expert now that you have a website around this. I know people who have built courses that are 100% the same content as you would find on their blog or their YouTube channel. And this might seem surprising, but when you think about it, somebody who watched all your content is a huge fan, and just having it structured will make a lot of sense, and I'm sure you'll add some extra value anyway, just by filming it one more time. And start out with one course. Don't build out a whole section of courses, because you'll just make it much more frustrating and harder for people to figure out which one is the right course for them. If there's only one course, this is the correct one for everybody. The next idea here is a creative one. I have a friend who created an info course about how to pass an exam that he already passed. So think about exams and certifications you have taken over the years. There are probably thousands of people trying to pass that same exam right now, and since you did it, you know what they will need in order to pass that exam. And the price point here can be awesome. How much would you pay to pass an exam if you know it's something that will earn you an income or something that will get you the right job? You can easily sell stuff like this for a couple of $100s. Let me show you a website you can use for the research here. There's a website where you can dig into a ton of categories when we're talking about exams and certifications. This website is tests.com, and it's a great way to find inspiration if you are wondering whether you should build a course around some exam or just helping people get through some tests. Every time we can teach people stuff that it will help them make more money, you will always be able to charge for it. So take a look at here what is being offered. You can go through all the main topics here, or you can just click all tests to get a good overview. Start by looking at what you already know. Maybe you are a dentist, or maybe you are a physicist. Just find your category, and maybe you have what it takes to help people practice for exams. After all, you probably took some exams yourself, or maybe some certifications in order to do what you do today. And as you scroll down here, you'll also be able to find some great content that can help you if you build out a course yourself. For example here, 8 test prep tips. These are just general tips that are really helpful for anybody who's looking to take an exam or to study for a test. And here, 8 test taking tips. You definitely need to check this out if you want to go this route. It's a great idea to check a website like this before you choose your niche, because you will get a lot of ideas here, and if you find a good niche where you have a lot of things to share, you will have a killer niche. And ads typically do well in niches that are focused around careers. When you're going to market this product, you would want to find some numbers and statistics on how many people pass this exam, and also how many people do not pass this exam. By doing so, you'll be able to play on the whole fear and convenience side of things, because you will create a shortcut for people and you will remove some of that fear of losing and not completing this exam. The next type of info product that can work really well for passive income websites are communities. Think about it for a while. You can have people pay to be part of a closed Facebook group, and over time people inside the community will add so much value to each other that you can start having a more passive role in the whole thing. So it'll probably never be 100% passive, but I know some friends who do this with great success, and I'm going to try it soon. Getting people to sign up for a Facebook group is also a great way to get their email, because you need that email in order to get them onto the Facebook group, right? So you can start by adding them to a free Facebook group, and then you'll have their email, and you can start sending them a sequence of emails that will eventually sign them onto the pro group or the paid group or whatever you want to call it. Just remember to always tell people exactly what they're going to get, because if you promise them a free Facebook group and what they really get is a series of emails to sell them into this other group, they will not be too happy about it, and there can also be legal issues with that. And make sure to build up to a good launch if you're creating a community, because we don't want a community of 3 or 4 or 5 people, right? We want to make sure that there are at least 30 to 50 people in there, so there'll be some activity. You can do that by building up a list over time and then set a time in the future where you will launch this community. The next idea I have for you for an info product is building plans. So it can be DIY plans for furnitures, stuff you build in your garden, or house plans. There's a lot of things you can sell building plans for. You can definitely build this site to be extremely passive. We have a website that sells building plans for furniture, and it has been doing so for several years now without us even logging into the website. Expect the price point here to be between $10 to $20. You cannot charge $50 for a garden DIY project. You just need to make sure that people are not offering these building plans for free, because if you're going into certain types of products here, there'll be a ton of free things people can find online. So do your research first. And again here, you can find an expert in your niche. You might be able to find a designer or a carpenter or somebody who already have these plans. They might not know how to sell these online, and if you combine your efforts and you use your platform to sell their things, you might be able to cut off a really good deal. The last type of info product is an oldie. It's the ebook. You've probably heard about it many times. I have some unique perspectives to share with you about ebooks. I want to broaden your perspective on ebooks here. It can be everything from how-to manuals and how-to guides and travel guides and many other things. There are tons of people out there killing it with ebooks also today. And if you sell your ebook exclusively on Amazon, you can get a better deal there. And remember, they also have the Kindle version. So that's probably a good way to go about it. So maybe you don't think you're ready for an info product yet, and that might be so. You need to know what your audience wants and what sort of information they're looking for. If you want to know what they're thinking and what they want from you, a good way to go about this is to start out by doing consulting work. Think about it for a second. You will make money from learning exactly what your readers and your potential customers want. And it can be a great way to make money. I did this for 4 or 5 years myself before I eventually started to work full-time on my passive income websites. I worked as an SEO consultant. By working closely with my clients, I started to get a good understanding of which problems beginners have when it comes to SEO. So let's say down the line you don't want to do this consulting business anymore and you want to focus 100% on the passive income. Just hire somebody to do the work and to do the consulting. If you have the clients, it's pretty easy to find somebody you can pay to do the teaching and to do the consulting for you. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel and like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.